Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who are joining me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I bring you this live free dog training Q&A session. One of the few that no questions are off limits when it comes to the behaviors of your dog. So get your questions ready, type them in the comments. I will answer as many as I possibly can. And for those of you who are watching now live or later on in the replay, shoot a comment. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Does the heart good when I see people are interactive here. So this week's subject, I'm going to start like always. I'm going to start with the subject, and once we get questions in, we'll stop with what I'm talking about, and we'll of course answer all your questions. So this week's subject, I'm going to talk about resource guarding a little bit. Resource guarding can be really, really serious, real dangerous. And again, I believe it's the way that we handle it when the dogs or the puppies get the unwanted objects. Dog grab the throw pillows on the couch, and we get pissed off because we spent a lot of money on them, and we start the game of chasing them to try to get it. And we're angry and we're frustrated, and all the nonsense that goes through us because we don't want them to destroy these our things. And a couple things happen that I noticed with when resource guarding first starts. When it comes to the inanimate objects, the pillows, the shoes, the toilet paper, garland, this time of the year, whatever it is that the dog is getting, um, again, we let our emotions take over. No, cut it out, stop, give it out. And we chase them. So first we're starting to interact with them in their game that they play naturally. Just keep away. Tag, you're it, whatever it is. We're interacting and we're encouraging that unwanted behavior because we're playing that game. And then, of course, once our emotions come in and our energy changes and we're not calm about these things, they're going to sense that. And then the problem is once we get the object, we grab it, we play the tug of war game maybe with them, and we're yelling and we're screaming. And in the dog's mind, all of a sudden this fun game that they started is now becoming something that is I need to protect. I need to this change. I don't like this. Now you're gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab for you because you're grabbing this from me, and I don't like the way you're grabbing it. If that makes sense. So guys, they're going, but especially puppies, they're going to grab things. It's how we handle it when they do. And then once we get the object, don't play the tug of war with them. Don't try to rip something out of their mouth. You hold it and you use your obedience commands. Drop it, drop it. You apply a little bit of pressure onto it, and eventually they're going to have to go, and then they drop it and they go, good boy, good girl, good drop, whatever you want to use. Get really excited, really happy about it, so they understand. Okay, I did something, I took something, I gave it back to you. Look how happy you are. And then eventually you set them up for success. So when I say set them up for success, to me, what I would do is if I had a dog that was going after my throw pillows, I wouldn't put my throw pillows away. I've gone into so many homes that they get a new dog in the house and the dog is going after the throw pillows. So what do? They throw the throw pillows all in the closet. That's not the way you want to live. So what I would do is I would actually put the pillows on the floor. And I would start on the floor, and I'd be like, when they go over towards it and they get too close to its personal space, no, you got to leave that alone. Not leave it. Remember, my world, leave it is a temporary command. Leave it is, leave it, you can have it later. When I don't want a dog to take my throw pillows, my shoes, toilet paper, whatever, it's no. No is no. No is final. You're never allowed to do this again. We confuse our dogs so much by using different words, different things for different reasons. It Let's keep it simple. Use the KISS theory, guys. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, good morning, Joan and Maya from Port Charlotte, Florida. How'd you guys make out with that storm? I heard Port Charlotte got hit pretty hard. Um, so when the dog is doing something and grabbing something you don't want them to have, don't use the words leave it. No. If your dog is jumping on somebody, don't say down or off. No. Good. I'm glad you saw you were lucky through that because it sounded devastating. Um, Use one discipline word. Guys, stop confusing the dogs. We use so many words in what we want them to do. If it's an unwanted behavior that you never, ever, ever want them to do that behavior again, counter surfing, jumping on your guest, being on the furniture, being, resource guarding, taking objects that aren't theirs, just keep it simple. No, nope. Hey, whatever discipline sound you're going to use, as simple as possible. It's a better form of communication to your dog because every time they have an unwanted behavior that you never want, they're hearing the same sound. That communication is so crucial. But remember, you gotta practice my three C's of dog training. Calm, confidence gives you the control. Those are the three C's of dog training. And when you utilize those, when you're working with your dog with the unwanted behaviors, okay, so we're going to definitely talk about some separation anxiety, John, and we're going to try to make it as simple as possible. Um, and again, this comes down to the three C's. Couple of things I've noticed over the years of doing this with separation anxiety is 90% of the time it's human created. Forget about their backstory. Forget about yesterday. I've heard separation anxiety. Oh, my dog was a rescue dog and it felt abandoned and now it needs me, and that's all great, and that's the human story of it. Let's kill that. Um, the biggest mistake I see that humans make, well, two big mistakes I see humans make when we're dealing with separation anxiety with our animals is one, we make a big deal when we leave. I'll be back, Maya, Maya, Maya. I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't worry, mommy loves you. Mommy will be back. Blah, 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 blah. And we get them all jacked up, trying to make sure they understand that we love them. And then we leave and they're jacked up. And they're like, whoa, what just happened? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? I need them back here. I need them back here. And they go crazy. So a lot of it comes from us because we want them to feel so warmed and welcome to our homes, especially when we're dealing with rescues. Excuse me. Or puppy mill doors or whatever it may be. So I always say keep it quieter. Keep it quieter, guys. Don't make a big deal. I know when my wife leaves, I don't talk to her. Good. That's great. You know, and the other thing I try to tell people to do when we're dealing with dogs with separation anxiety is one, slow down the whole process of leaving the home. And what do I mean by that? I understand in this world today, everything's in a rush. We have to get here. We have to do this. We have to do that. We have to get here. And when we're getting ready to leave the home, and I've seen this in a lot of homes I work at, I got to get the kids out to the bus. I got to do this. I got to do this. And we're running around like lunatics. Oh my God, I got to get out the door. I got to get to work. And the dogs are observing us because remember, our energy is the best communication point. So if they see us running around like chickens without our heads, they're going to pick up that energy. And again, we leave and they don't understand it. So they can act out. Those are usually the behaviors that I see create this separation anxiety. So if it's definitely the latter, the I'm rushing to get out of the house, slow it down. One of the things I did with one customer and the dog with separation anxiety is what we worked on the place command. And we told the dog to go to place, which is their dog bed or it could be their crate, whatever it was. In this case, it was a dog bed. And we send them to their place, and then we would just chill out for 15 minutes while they're in their place. So everything settled down before we left. And then we walked out. We set up nanny cams to see what was happening. And it worked very well because I'm retired, so I never rush. I'm one of those firm believers if I'm not early, I'm late. So I never rush to get places either. So the other thing you can do to help Maya along with the separation anxiety, if those two cases aren't relevant to you, is, and again, I've done this and it does work, it just takes a little bit longer, is just Set up, your phones if you don't have a nanny cam in the house system. Set up phones and tablets as nanny cams so you can watch what's going on, hear what's going on. And what we do is we just go about it as if we're going someplace, but we're not really going to go someplace. We're going to walk out the door, and then within seconds, we're going to walk back in. I'm home. Oh, that was good. That wasn't so bad. And then you stretch out that duration, how long you stay out of the house. Keep stretching it. So the first time, maybe 5 seconds. And we may do 5 seconds, but 15 times till the dog says, okay, they're going to come back. And then we're going to wait 10 seconds. And then we're going to see what happens. And we're going to be watching them the whole time. And then what we really want to try to do is get them to learn how to self soothe, because you're going and you're coming back. Okay, you're not gone forever. You're going out, you're just going to the mailbox. I've seen dogs who the owners can't even go to the mail. Right. So when you're taking out the trash, same situation. So what you can do is as soon as you go out the door, if she starts barking and crying, come back in and say no. Calm her down. Good. And walk out again. When she does it again, don't let her follow you to the door. Don't let her do all these things. If you start walking out the door and she starts following you to the door, no. Go to your bed, go to your place, whatever it may be. Just keep her at a distance so she's not trying to get out the door with you, say, where you going, where you going, where you going. And then wait for her to calm down then. So you start walking out, she starts following you, which tells you her mind is escalated. We're going to say no. We're going to be calm. We're going to watch our own energy. We're going to be calm, confident to get the control. And we're going to ask her to go someplace else. When she's calm, great, get up, do the process over again. Yeah. But staying is an obedience command. Sorry, you guys don't see the comments. Joan says she does stay when I tell her. So staying is an obedience command. Most dogs are obedience. What I'm concerned about is her state of mind. Yes, she's staying, but if she's, where are you going? You're leaving. I know you're leaving. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That's what I'm concerned about. So we want to get all the way through that state of mind till she's calm. When she's calm, we calmly get up and we walk out 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds while we're watching. And as soon as she starts any of the unwanted behaviors, we come back in. I'm home. Not make a big deal out of it because we don't want the excitement. And then rinse and repeat. It's a long process. I did this with one dog that way because none of the other tricks were working. And it was a long process. And it was a lot of work. But the end result was this person I was working with would have got thrown out of their condo complex or apartment complex or whatever it was because neighbors were complaining the dog was crying and barking, you know, 8 hours a day. One, it's not good for you to be neighborly, and two, it's not good to stress the dogs out that much. But it's the state of mind that's showing the separation anxiety. So if you can slow everything down, don't let her follow you to the door. And even if she's staying like a good girl, if you see, look at her mind, try to read what her mind is doing. If she is not calm and relaxed, help her soothe. Good. And then we start the process of walking out again, keep an eye on her, watch for any change. Because when they're relaxed, they're like, okay. But when they're tense or upset or anxious or whatever, you'll see that rigidness in their body. That's what you want to go after. And it's heartbreaking and it's hard. But if you do it consistently, it works. It just takes a, I put in the work for sure. Good. When I come back and she is barking and I ignore her. Perfect. Ignore her, but you're also allowed to say no because you don't agree with that behavior. Remember, if you don't agree with the behavior, you're allowed to disagree to teach her a different way. So when I come home, using my own world as an example, Zoe is super excited to see me. I mean, literally, I can go just go get the mail, or I can go talk to my neighbor, whatever. She's super excited to see me, like I've been gone for hours. She's excited, her tail's going, the butt's wagging, and all this. Like, oh my God, you're home, thank God. But she is not allowed to bum rush me. She's not allowed to bark at me. She's not allowed. She's not allowed. She's not allowed. But when she was a puppy, she did all those things. Yay, daddy's home. You know, and she'd bark, and I'd be like, nope, I will give you the affection you want when I see the state of mind is a better state of mind. Because the one thing I don't like is when I come home and I got an arms full of groceries or stuff, I don't want my dogs to be underneath my feet where I can trip or I can hurt myself or hurt them. So, but every dog I've ever raised, when I leave, I will always given them the last 15 minutes of nothing but calm. I don't rush out the door. I don't go into that frantic state of mind. I keep my energy as calm as possible. So that's what I'm trying to get through to them because, and I say it week in, week out, and I'm going to put that blurb up here that our energy is the most important form of communication that we have with our dogs. And that goes to anything. That's why I don't talk about physical. I don't talk about obedience. I talk about state of mind. State of mind is the energy. It's the energy we're putting out and the energy they're putting out. That's what the communication is. So if we can continue growing and understanding what they're saying, because they're not going to say verbally, their body language, their energy is going to tell us so much more. Now we're speaking their language and they're happier. What are your thoughts on squirting her with a water bottle? I'm not big on the water bottle theory, guys. And the reason being is a lot of dogs become immune to it. Remember, when I say to discipline dogs, say no, follow through to get to the state of mind. There's a consequence for their actions, and what it's something uncomfortable. The problem I have with the water bottle is it stops the immediate. But in the dog's mind, nothing really bad happened. I don't. If you want to use the water bottle instead of snapping your fingers, that's fine, or clapping to unlock their brain. But the key is, if you're going to squirt them, follow through to get to the state of mind. And please don't pick up the water bottles and don't make me use this. You don't want them to become fearful of the water bottle. And I've seen that. I've been in homes where people pick up the water bottle and the dog takes off like, holy crap, I'm going to get killed because they made that inanimate object a negative. You never want your tools to be negative. They always have to have a positive and a feeling about them for the dog. So if you're going to pick it up and you're going to be no, and you're going to squirt, no, it should be squirt, no, and then put the bottle down. Don't hold it up. Put it behind your back. Don't let them associate that uncomfortable feeling with this inanimate object. They do that. When I work with people with remote collar training, I tell them the remote part of it, never ever show the dog. Don't let the dog see it. Try not to let the dog see it because too many people pick up the remote and the dog takes off because they became fearful of this object. You don't want the dogs to be fearful of anything. Remember, when I talk about disciplining or disagreeing or changing a behavior, it's never out of fear and it never should hurt your dog. So if you want to use the water bottle, do it the same way I would do my snap. No, boom, that quick. Then you follow through to get to the state of mind you want. So the snap of the water bottle is going to unlock the brain from doing the unwanted behavior. That's the purpose of it. Because once they're in this state of mind, a lot of times that's all they see. So if you squirt them with the water bottle, now whoop, whoa, what was that? Now easy, now relax. Without the water bottle, don't show them the water bottle. Like I said, try to hide it as best as you can. And you will see that they will respect it the same way they respect my snap. The snap that I do is to unlock the brain. They hear that noise, they're like, whoa, what was that? Clap of the hand, something loud. When I say pop the leash, that's the same reason. Is the pop of the leash is to unlock the brain, not to hurt them, not to scare them, but to unlock the brain from what they're focusing on. So if we can learn how to unlock their brains quickly and then do your follow through. The biggest disconnect, I've talked about it week in, week out, is that we don't do the proper follow through. and we don't look at the little clues that they're giving us. I was talking about a couple of weeks ago about a leash reactive dog I worked with at a park, and it escalated to the point where I had to make a pretty hard correction. And he threw this temper tantrum where he was looking like a bucking bronco doing the alligator death roll. I didn't make any corrections while he was doing that. I just rode along, went with the ride with him, basically. And then once he realized, oh, this is a lot of energy I'm wasting, he settled down. His mind was still focused, so I couldn't do anything at this point. And once I saw that change, yes, because I got through to his mind. And that goes for overexcitement. That goes for separation anxiety. That goes for leash reactivity. That goes for human aggressive, dog aggressive. It doesn't matter. We're going after the state of mind. But we got to know when to reward the right state of mind and when to disagree with the right state of mind. And it's such a balancing act. So with the dog that I was working with the leash reactivity, is when I saw his state of mind change and he was food motivated, which was great. We gave him a piece of chicken, and he was like, oh. And what he associated with it is not getting the chicken when he was in that heightened state of mind. He got the chicken when he was in a calmer state of mind. So we rewarded him at the right time, and then the same dogs that passed us came back, and he started to react and said, "Wait, they don't like that." And he just sat there and he looked at us, and we gave him a piece of chicken, and we rewarded him for that state of mind. You know, the old redirection theory. And again, I've had this discussion many, many times. I'm not a big fan of it. Like if I have a leash reactive dog, and they're and I'm trying to wave food in front of their nose, I'm giving them the food in the wrong state of mind. I'm giving it to them when they're jacked up. I don't want to ever reward that state of mind. So I'm going to wait till they come all the way down, and I'm going to reward them. And eventually wean away from the treats. Food is a great motivation. I'm going to be working with a puppy later on today, 9-week-old puppy, and we're going to start some operative conditioning, for lack of better terms, because these people have specific things they want this puppy to do, which is know its name very quickly. They want it to be able to go into crate with a command, and they're going to want it to be quiet in the crate. And we're going to do that all with positive reward, I guess is the way we're going to put this, with treats and praise. Treats and praise, and eventually just praise, just praise, just praise, because I don't want a world of obese dogs. So I'm not going to treat them constantly. And this is going to be real good. This is going to bring me back back to basics with puppy. This is a 9-week-old, 10-week-old puppy I'm going to be working with, which I haven't worked with one in a long time at that age. The last one probably was Zoe at that age, and it it's going to make this dog, the journey of training that we go on with this puppy, or the owners are going to go on with this puppy, so much more enjoyable because we're starting it now. And that's some of the things I try to convince people. You get a puppy, training is day one, maybe day two. First day we're going to hug and kiss and squeeze and do all that stuff. But training should start instantaneously. Set clear rules, boundaries, and limitations for your new puppy. And when I say new puppy, it doesn't matter if it's an 8-week-old puppy. It could be a 3-year-old dog that you just rescued. When you bring them into your home, set clear rules for them. They will follow you to the end of the earth if you do that. It's the dogs I have the problem with, is puppies or older dogs, that when we bring them home, we give them all the freedom of our beautiful homes, and they run amok all over the place. They don't understand. They have no rules. They have no boundaries. They have no limitations. And what's going to happen? They're going to push whatever rules you do set further and further, or boundaries, because they never had the structure to begin with. And again, I've done this, guys. I've done this on my own puppies, and I've done this on older dogs that were rescued. Set the rules you want. Do everything based on your energy, because it's so important. Practice the 3 C's in every step of your life. Calm, confidence equals control. It works with animals and it works with humans. It works. But you got to believe in the system. And once you believe it and you start seeing it, like Oprah would say, you would have that aha moment, and you're like, wow, this is the dog I want. And the beauty with the dogs is it's never, ever too late. They could be 9 weeks old, they could be 3 years old, they could be 10 years old. It doesn't matter. All dogs are looking for is proper leadership from the day you get them. If you give them that proper leadership, they will follow you to the end of the earth. And I know that. Every one of my dogs would follow, that I've ever had in my life would follow me when I walked off the cliff. Never want to walk off a cliff, but you understand what I'm saying. So, but it's always when I deal with it, when I go into your homes or I'm coming to you in your homes via this, this live video, I have calm, I have the confidence, and I have the control. And I want you guys to have that because once you see it, John, if you do these things with those three C's, Maya will get it. And if she makes a mistake, if you stay calm and you stay confident, she's gonna understand it. And she will make mistakes. You may think, oh great, I got out of the house for 3 minutes and she did really good. That means then the next time you go out, it's a minute and she reacts. It's gonna happen. And those tests that they do are really important because if you follow through and you do it right when they have that lapse, you get it back quicker. So guys, it's always, I started off today's conversation about resource guarding, and it's the same theory. When I deal with a dog with resource guarding, I stay calm. I know what they're capable of doing. I may get bit. I might. It may happen. What if this happens? But I don't care. I stay calm and confident so I can get the control. So when I have a dog that wants to resource guard a piece of toilet paper, I stay confident. They get it. Am I going to reach into a dog's mouth and take stuff out? Only if it's life threatening. If not, I'm going to make them or guide them to make better decisions. And once they get it and they get that praise, good boy, good girl, yes, I am so happy. Then they're going to continue to do it because that's what they want. They want to please us. The beauty of dogs. I mean, like I said, I've worked with some really bad abused animals that really should never even let me near them because their mindset should be, I'm going to kill you before you hurt me. I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. But the beauty is, once I show them the proper leadership, they are so eternally grateful. They just move forward with me. And that's why I call what I do, it's a journey I take you guys on, and I take your dogs on because journeys are fun. Journeys are rewarding. That light at the end of the tunnel is not the train. It's a beach with me with a Mai Tai in my hand underneath an umbrella because I'm really not a big sun fan. But that's what I always look at. I walk into a house with an aggressive dog. That light at that end of that tunnel, I look at that before. That's my vision, not the what if he or she does this. Because if I do the what ifs, I'm going to create the what ifs. And I've said this before. Guys, get that conversation. What if? Why does my dog show separation anxiety? I give it a great home. Why is my dog leash? Forget all those questions. You don't like it? Check your energy. Use the three C's, calm, confidence to get control, and work with your dog to take them on this journey with you to have a happy, balanced life. I'm going to move my head out of the way. I am so committed to this. I am 100% committed to bring your dog back to balance. And that's what they want us to do. They live a balanced life. Mother Nature is all about balance. We know this. We've been around long enough. Dogs are Mother Nature's greatest creations as far as I'm concerned. And my job, my goal is to balance them because that's what they live for. That's what they strive for. They give them balance. That means they have a great foundation to build them the skyscraper on. But without that great foundation, which is the balance, you can't build a skyscraper. So take your time, check your energy. Guys that are watching, which I don't get a lot of guys watching me, check our egos at the door. Women, check that motherly, nurturing thing at the door. Work with your dogs with your energy. The three C's every single time. It will work. How long it takes, I don't know. And again, if you guys need more clarification from the people that aren't here locally in the Fort Mill, South Carolina area, Charlotte, Greater Charlotte area, I can always offer you a Zoom training session. It's definitely an economical method of training, Because what we're talking about is dog psychology. It's not a matter of me being there hands on with you. It's me giving you the tools, the knowledge to succeed in this journey. And we can do that via Zoom at your convenience. Um, it's a great way to do it. I'm going to be doing this with somebody up on Long Island whose dog is resource guarding. We're going to come up with a program that we're going to help them remotely. And then if I need to go up to New York, of course I will. Um, but we're going to hopefully create this journey, and I'm going to ask them to hopefully videotape some of this to show the journey so I can show you guys this. I'm waiting for one of my neighbors to get back so we can work with his dog on leash reactivity. And right here in this live platform, we're going to show you a before and hopefully after video of how we can stop reactivity without hurting or scaring your dog or changing your dog's personality, because I never want to change your dog's personality. I just want them to be happy. So, guys, I hope that all this made sense. I can go on and on for hours and days and years, and you all know that about me. Um, I have a huge passion for what I do. I love what I do, and I love bringing you this platform each and every week. I'm going to throw a question out there, so anybody watching now or later on the replay, maybe you can answer the question. Come 2023, I'm thinking of doing a live Q&A like I've been doing instead of Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock, because I understand a lot of people have kids, they're running around doing the soccer and this and that and the other thing. I'm thinking of offering to do one maybe on a Thursday evening at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because I would like to get this out to the West Coast, and hit some areas that, 11 o'clock is too early for them. After people are home and settled in. So let me know your opinions on if you think like a Thursday evening at 7, 8 o'clock would be good for you guys. And maybe start weaning away from the Saturday morning. I'm not sure yet. I may do two. I'm not sure. It depends on how things are going. But I do want to get the word out. And remember, I ask every time, I appreciate everybody being here. Please share this information with your friends and your families around the country and around the world, your fellow dog lovers like us. Get more people to tune in, get more questions that can help you, help me, continue to grow myself. Because truly my goal is together we can help one dog and one family at a time, but I need you guys to help push this information out to your friends and family around the country and around the world. With that being said, guys, we're going to wrap it up with the magic half hour mark. Unless there's more questions, of course, if there's more questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But if there's no other questions, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege to do this. Stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can have one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll see you here next Saturday.